Hello, followers of Christ. I hope you're having a good day. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving Day, and a lot of us are going to be around family, friends, and some of us are probably going through an emotional decision to decide whether or not we want to go visit family. Let's talk about it. So, holidays can be a great time, but for some people it can be a difficult time. You can struggle with, especially if you're trying to mend relationships or you're rebuilding yourself. If you were you you started following Christ, you changed your life around, or you're just in a process of deciding to make changes in your life to where things you used to do you don't do no more. One of those big decisions sometimes come to be about people you hang around, people you used to go around, and you're making a tough decision whether or not you should go around those people or not. Or if you were separated from your family for a while, you haven't been around your family, and now you're thinking about maybe coming around the family, but the ideal of being around all of them at the same time is kind of overwhelming right now for you because you haven't been there, and you're worried about what people are going to say. You're worried about how they're going to react to you being there because you may have left on bad terms, or you may have just left without saying goodbye. So Thanksgiving is the prelude to Christmas, right? So it introduces us into the holidays where everyone's supposed to be cheerful, giving, forgiving, more compassionate. That's why I feel like a lot of people tend to go to church more around the holiday seasons because, with all the positivity in the air, in the atmosphere at the stores, people are greeting you, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, so on and so forth. It feels more welcoming for you to, a little bit more easier for you to actually go to church now or go to those events. And for you that are out there struggling, I want you to stop overthinking it. One thing that I have learned in following Christ and about forgiveness, a lot of times God is so quick to forgive us, or he forgives us quicker than we will ourselves. There are things that we hold on to a lot longer than than God does, or even family. And the reason why I say that is because, like, you may have done something and you feel like it's unforgivable, but by the time years have gone by, days have gone by, months have gone by, whatever, and you finally mustered up the courage to go apologize or ask for forgiveness, you get hit with the response of, "Oh, I ain't even thinking about that more. Oh, that's old news. That's good." Because most of the time, when you're the person at fault and the person that's hurt, depending on the situation, a lot of times people who are hurt tend to let go of things because they need to heal from that, right? They need to go through the healing process, the grieving process. So they start their journey of healing a lot sooner than the person that caused the pain. I'm not sure why. I don't know any legitimate reason why, but I do know, even for me, like, a lot of times people will say, "Well, I didn't call you because of this." And I'm like, I ain't even thought about that no more. And it's genuine the truth. I have not been thinking about that. So I've forgiven them long before, long ago, before they even thought about forgiving themselves. And I'm saying all this to tell you that if you are reserving yourself, if you're trying to keep yourself from going to visit family because of something that you've done in the past and it's caused pain, but you feel a strong pull towards you to go visit your family, muster up the strength, pray for the strength and encouragement to go visit your family. We are in a time where we are having to lean on each other a lot more, just because of what's going on in the world, what's going on in society. So, thing that you'll be surprised at how much is actually no longer considered an issue with family members. Especially if time has allowed for old wounds to heal. Give yourself an opportunity to be able to go and be amongst family. And even if you are going to a family and it's one or two family members there that don't want you there, it's okay. Just give them their space. You keep your space, respect their feelings, their emotional, bubble, and enjoy yourself with other family, because we need to be around people that we know and love. And if you don't have family, find a friend or coworker or somebody um that you socialize with and see if you can come, because you shouldn't be by yourself. But if you are by yourself, it's okay. Not saying there's something wrong with it, because I have spent holidays by myself before, and I have children. So, and when I say by myself, I sent my kids, away and spent it alone, because I needed that time to regroup and just really have some spiritual time for myself, to rebuild myself up, spend time with God and prayed and stuff. But holidays can be hard. And if you're on your walk with Christ, one of the things that is hard, more difficult than anything, is going back to where you came from, and being and not and people not recognizing your change. They only see you for who you were when the last time that they saw you. So the only way they're going to know that you've changed, or the only way they're going to know, and some of them may refuse to see it, but this is a great opportunity for you to show them your growth, show them your relationship with God, express, and you don't have to tell them about it. If you've been walking with Christ and you've been praying and reading your word and exercising all those practices that he's given you, it's going to show. It's going to show in how you carry yourself, how you speak to people, how you respond to things, all of that's going to come out, and they're going to see the difference in you. And even if they don't, even Jesus had to walk away from his family. He went to a family event and ended up having to walk away from his family, because they only saw him for the person he was before, before he was serious about his journey, his mission that God had gave him. So don't let it may be your first, it may be your last unity, excuse me, with your family, but it is definitely worth the opportunity to at least try. With that being said, the holidays are already tough enough with us trying to get together and be amongst each other for hours at a time, large groups of family. Encourage people to come even if they can't bring a dish. If you are a follower of Christ and you're hosting the family gathering, make your house welcoming for everyone. And don't have family members or friends feel like they can't come over if they don't have something to bring, because they honestly may not have. Not everyone has something to bring, and you do have some that do show up that could have bought something and they chose not to, but that's not the point. That's not the agenda of the day. The agenda of the day is fellowship. And this is on my heart because just like today at work, y'all know how I feel about work, employees and everything. And I came home last night, had a conversation with my husband, and half of the staff was already gone. I didn't know they was gonna be gone to the end of the day, but God put it on my heart to buy breakfast for my staff. It's only 3 people in my staff, and so I just wanted to do something nice. I wanted to end, or start actually the holiday season with us going into it with good fellowship, so that they have good fellowship at work. They go home and spend even more fellowship with their family and be able to have those vibes of positivity. And so I actually ordered breakfast, and the breakfast I got, since I didn't know for sure what they wanted, I got like a little buffet thing from a restaurant, and it actually came with like 10 servings, even though I only needed 3. The price was very reasonable, so I went on ahead and got all 10 servings. And what I did was I went downstairs because I'm on the second floor of my office. I went downstairs and I invited the people that I don't see every day. Even though we work in the same building, I may see them once every other month, because the office is in such a divide that we don't even see each other. Like in the morning times, we don't see each other to even say good morning. When I do see them, we speak to each other, but it's very rare that we see each other. So today, since the office, I knew it was gonna be slow because of the holidays, I invited them up to, help us eat up all the breakfast and stuff. And we had a good time. We actually sat around, we talked, we laughed. People fixed their meal, ate a bite, and went back to work, and it was in and out traffic, but it felt nice. And that's all I kept hearing people say: this was nice, this was nice, this was nice. And it had nothing to do with food. It had everything to do with the fellowship. We were laughing, we was talking with each other, we was getting to know each other a little bit better. And who would have thought that people working in the same building could actually have a conversation that was, nice enough to make the day pleasant. And so, with that being said, no one bought food. I didn't expect anyone. No one even knew I was doing this. So, I had purchased everything and laid everything out for them. And but I made everybody feel welcome that came in. I didn't make them feel like, well, you didn't bring nothing, or I didn't invite you. I didn't give them. As soon as I didn't care who it was. A customer even came through. I was like, hey, have you ate breakfast today? Come eat breakfast with us. It was one of those things. I just wanted them to feel welcome and let them know that they are a person. They are a child of God. And that alone is enough for you to be able to fellowship with us. So if you are a follower of Christ and you are hosting a event tomorrow, I want you to have that relationship with other people to say, you are a child, because you are a child of God, you're welcome in my home today to enjoy a meal. Um, and it's easier said than done. I'm not saying to go pull people off the streets and do it. I'm just saying, if you just happen to make your home inviting, so that people are comfortable. And I'm not saying you have to go over the moon, because I didn't fix nobody's place. I wasn't sitting here, trying to engage with conversation. If they didn't want to talk, I didn't force them to talk. Some of them fixed their plate. They said thank you and they left, but they felt good about it. They even came back a second time and said, I really do appreciate you feeding me today. And it was just that. It's that simple. When we are trying to build God's kingdom for Him, we build relationships with one another. It's not so much about making sure people are checking the boxes. Well, you need to make sure you come dressed right. You need to make sure you talking right and doing right and acting right. It's more so about making them say, because of who you are, because I know where you come from, meaning you are a child of God who was created by God. Therefore, you are here present. I welcome you. And given that feeling, being able to give people that warmth and being able to see the pleasantries on their face will make you feel good. It'll give you confidence and give you strength on your journey and in your walk. And more so, it'll help you build up your ability to be able to communicate with people about Christ. And like I said, God came up a few times in the conversation. We talked about going to different churches. I actually got invited to another person's church, but it wasn't because I just shoved it down their throat because of what I do and who I am and how I worship. The conversation came up, and when it came up, it gave me an opportunity to share, and that's what you're doing. You're just making the environment welcome enough for you to be able to share your journey, where you are in your walk, if you want to. If you're at that position, if you're not, it's okay. Just know you're not on your own. You're not alone in your journey, which is sometimes also enough. Sometimes you need to go around people to see who else is on that walk with you, so that you're not alone, because we are not alone. We are all out here together trying our best to live Christ-like, trying to build ourselves up to be a greater person every day for God, and to help Him build His kingdom, and to remind others of why, the original reason we have been created. And more so, the mercy and grace that falls on our life makes us worth living. So I hope that this blesses someone. I hope that those of you, like I said, if you don't have anything to bring, don't let that discourage you from going to visit your family. If you haven't seen them in a long time, don't let that be your discourage. Get the strength, pray, sleep on it, get up in the morning, feel energized, and feel the need, or allow God to give you that desire to go around and be amongst those that even if they're not like you, be amongst people so they can see the new you, if nothing else. And if you are hosting, be inviting, be warming, allow God to use your place as a place of fellowship and worship by welcoming people into your home, by allowing them to feel comfortable in your home, even though they may not have bought a dish, even though everybody else did. It's okay. They didn't wear the family t-shirt. It's okay. They can still be, they're still a child of God, and that is enough for you to be able to embrace them. So y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. Be safe. Travel safe if you're traveling. Enjoy your day, and look forward to being able to allow this season of compassion and love to continue to grow.